The board really wanted the business community involved in the institution more than it had been. And so I spent a lot of time and energy in the early years on chamber boards and other activities in the business community trying to bring them in, and made a lot of progress. And there was a lot of economic development going on in the late 80s and early 90s, and we were interested in seeing what role the college could play in the economic development of the county. And so part of that was the business and training center. But then the other part was trying to reach out to international markets and see what was out there. A community college is exactly what its name says. It has to be a part of the community. And the business component of the community is very significant in support for an institution, both in terms of hiring students that go through the institution, in terms of defining what programs you need to offer to meet their needs, and as contributors to the institution. So it was important that we reach out to the business community and establish those relationships. So if you were sitting around looking at anything that was going on in the late 80s and early 90s, you knew that the computer was having an immense impact and was going to have an immense impact. And I just couldn't see any way that the college could sit by and not be a part of that process, if possible, be a leader in that process, because it was just happening so quickly. And it was clear, at least it was clear to me, maybe nobody else saw it, but it was clear to me that the computer was going to have a huge impact on everything that we did. And we just had to get out there ahead of the curve. One of the things that I did very early on that people thought was a little strange was I put a PC on every faculty member's desk, and indeed every faculty member and administrator in the college. And not everybody used them at the outset. But I think there was one faculty member that somebody turned on his computer one day and had to erase 600 emails. But you know there were some people who were not attuned to picking up and trying it out. But for the most part, technology was embraced by faculty and administration in the institution. And it really changed the way that we did business in the institution. Before we had the access to email, for one of the vice presidents to come to me, they had to call up, make an appointment, wait, come in, present the issue to me, and then I had to think about it, so I had to go away and come back for another meeting, and then we'd make the final decision and take it back. After email was introduced, they'd send me an email and I'd respond over the email. And it speeded everything up that was happening. And that was the way it was going to be for everybody who went through the institution. The real driving force for getting us into position to embrace technology was so that the students who went through the institution saw it as a routine part of everyday life, which indeed it became. And so we just had to be in a position to get students to use it in every conceivable way. The most important thing is that our students come here, they would come in and take classes and leave, and we wanted to create an opportunity for them to have a more social, collegiate experience. And at the same time, we recognized that there were a number of students in the county, very, very talented, very academically superior students, that for whatever reason didn't want to go or couldn't go away to college. And so we tried to think of a way that we could design a program that would give them a collegiate experience, give them an excellent academic experience, and be able to stay close to home for the first couple of years. And of course, if you look at the history of the students who have gone through the Rouse Scholars Program, there's just student after student after student that have these poignant stories of reasons why they wouldn't have been able to go to college or would have had to have delayed it significantly if it hadn't been for the Rouse Scholars Program. So we really wanted to create this community of learning that would enable students to have an outstanding collegiate experience close to home at a price they could afford, all of the reasons why community colleges are here. And the Rouse Scholars turned out to be that in a wonderful way, and do really to the leadership of Carol Copenhaver, who really picked up the idea and ran with it, and Jerry Casway, Barbara Greenfeld. I think Peggy Armitage was heavily involved in that early on. There were a group of people who really picked it up and did it. You know, all a president can do is to make a suggestion, and then other people have to pick it up and do the work. In order to be an effective president, you have to enjoy watching other people work, and that's a prime requirement. So it was really great to see the work that all of them did in building that program and continue to do today.